So today we'll be building a set of models that is going to help us to arrive to a use case diagram describing the system. We'll follow LEGO Serious Play methodology to build our models. So here we have one of the standard LEGO Classic sets, and this is a set of LEGO minifigures from LEGO Education, and we're going to use this for the exercise. So the first thing I would like you to do is to think of different actors, all the different actors that you read about in the system description, and maybe some other actors that maybe not mentioned there, but still you think they are nevertheless very important for the system. Feel free to use the minifigures here with the different accessories or without. 1 minute should be quite sufficient for everybody to come up with a good idea for an actor. Okay, you have 1 minute. Okay, let's talk about your actors. Again, let's go around and everybody will say just a couple of words about what their actor is and what makes your model a good representation of that actor. Make sense? Let's start from there.
I chose a student as the actor, and I decided to use the knight as the knight minifigure, basically to represent maybe like the student fighting their way through the class and trying to achieve to the completion of the course.
Very well.
Okay, so my model is not a welcome entity. I would say they're either a pirate or a hacker. So they're looking to alter or manipulate the software in some way.
Okay.
I also chose the administrator, and I chose the wizard because I just think that wizards are all they're supposedly very wise, and I guess just managing the system that it should be. So of course, what was it? Adding other actors and other events that he can do. So yeah.
Okay. And last but not least,
This is kind of like maybe a court jester or a clown of some type, but they're viewing through this window here from the outside and looking in. So it's kind of like a teaching assistant.
we're going to group them together, put them on a platform. Because even though we have two different minifigures, they represent exactly the same actor. The admin,
Hacker.
we have a hacker, a teaching assistant, we have teachers and
A student.
Very well. Everybody will take 2 minutes to build a model of a single use case. Feel free to build models of the use cases that are in the requirements. So whatever comes to mind, whatever you think is important, build a model of that.
That was my next idea. I'm just looking for it.
So at this moment, everybody has finished building their models of the use cases. Again, we'll go around the table and everybody will very, very briefly, perhaps 20 seconds, everybody will explain their use case and how it fits in the overall requirements of the system.
So this would be an administrator model. The administrator is able to access the system, and here what we have is a certain whiteboard. I wanted to display what the user can do, and if they're able to do it, then they can access that certain feature.
What about this?
I use the open window to represent for the student for submission and when homeworks are due. So like a little beacon at the top, just identifying when actual assignments are deadline by.
Looking at what we have here, and again, very quickly, let's go once more around the table, and everybody will just very quickly say, okay, this is like thing X.
This is viewing assignments.
Yes.
This is displaying what a user can and cannot do.
Access rights.
Access rights.
This is modifying a grade.
This is grading an assignment.
This is giving an assignment from a TA to a teacher.
And this is due date for an assignment.
This could be collaborating with students.
You will have 2 minutes to think of and build a model for yet another use case. So everybody's done building their second round of use cases, right? Okay, so again, let's go around the table and everybody will present their model and what use cases it represents.
So this model right here is an administrative tool, and it signifies if a student is allowed to access a certain class based on their prerequisites and what classes they've already taken.
This is the tool for the student to submit solutions.
Submit solutions. Thank you.
This is the teacher suggesting a solution to a student. Teacher has raised up solutions here, represented by a light bulb, kind of. and then students slower and reaching out.
Sounds interesting. Thank you. What about this?
This is a suggest solutions too. So this is the solution, and this is the suggestion. So the student only can see a little bit of the solution, not the total solution.
This is another admin tool. So an administrator, whenever he wants to create a new user, this side right here, the green side is like means that he is able to create that user, but the red side right over here tells the admins like, oh, that user already exists, so he can't create that user.
Given the current set of use cases that we've identified so far, do you think we're doing a fairly good job of addressing all the requirements in the system the way how it was presented to us? Did we cover every aspect of functionality that the system should have?
I think so.
The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to take a bigger picture, so to speak. We're going to try to connect all the use cases that you've created so far with the actors that we've identified at the very beginning. I'll give you 1 minute to kind of quickly think about it. Again, put the use cases where you think they belong and make the connections.
Where's the teacher's assistant?
Over there.
Here?
That corner, yes.
Here, maybe we can spread some of this out so it's not
Yeah.
so clustered.
These are all.
What were the connections that you guys made? I would like, again, to go in circle around the table and for everybody to say, okay, I've made connection so and so. It connects this actor in this use case. And if you need to explain, then explain. If you think it's self-explanatory, then I guess we'll be able to see that.
All right, well, here we have a teacher's assistant, and we have him connected, him or her, over here to the viewing assignments, where you can look through the window, but you can't get through it.
The connections right here would be with the admins, and this right here would just be the access control. And over here would be adding new users to the system.
We have here teacher that is connected to suggesting solutions.
And I connected the student to viewing right here to when the assignments are due or if past due.
I connected that blue block in the corner to the teaching assistant because the teaching assistant has to pass the grades through the teacher.
Makes a lot of sense. But I think there are also some of the connections between some actors and some use cases that we have not identified so far. Let's do another round and make another round of connections.
Yeah, I think that was really the only connection.
Which one's this one right here? Yeah.
Now that we're done with making another round of connections, let's review these new connections that we just made.
And then we made the connection here from the teacher to the right here, so the teacher is able to grade and review assignments after the student submits.
What was your connection here?
I just changed because this connection that is the due days was to the teacher assistant, so I changed it to the student.
So you made a connection between a student
To due
and
date.
a due date.
Yeah.
That was a due date reminder, right?
Yes, remember.
Okay.
One last one, I believe that the students are also able to view the assignments and view submitted work, and that's also connected over to the teachers, so we'd have to make another chain.
Let's once again identify all the use cases we have here and all the actors.
Teachers, student, teacher's assistant, hackers, and administrators.
Okay. Now let's try to do the same thing with our use cases. So these two things were
Grading.
Grading.
grading,
Suggesting solutions.
suggesting solutions.
That's when the teacher assistant passes a grade to the teacher.
Okay. And this one,
Viewing assignments.
viewing an assignment. And this was,
Oh, adding users to the system.
and this,
Access control.
and then this.
Administrative students access.
So we can clearly see that this kind of administrative cluster connected to the admins over there, and the admins are not really connected to anything else, which makes for an interesting partition within the system. Well, there you have it. This weird looking thing is actually a model of a use case diagram for the system. Looks not particularly neat right now, but if we were to kind of align the connections a little bit better and map this Lego diagram to a proper UML use case diagram, you will see that it actually makes a very good sense. Okay, well, thank you all very much.